welcome back to No Ma'am. Now, while some people out here trying to erase trans women from the conversation, No Ma'am said, not on our watch, not too much. Today's episode is about the dolls, it's about defiance, and it's about doing drag while the world is doing too much.
But before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of No Ma'am.
All right, friends, our guest is one hell of a performer. She is so captivating. Make some noise for the one and only Afrosephone Applegate. Welcome to No Ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank y'all for having me. Oh my God, I've been wanting to do this for so long. Oh my God, you guys are hilarious. I cannot wait. I've been doing fine. I've been excited the whole day. I literally been sitting in this spot for like 2 hours. I am so psyched.
Like a little kid waiting for like Christmas or something. No, but you know what? We're going to make this fun. We're going to make sure, we ask you some very crazy questions. We're going to have fun. Of course. First one, I want you to rate your body parts from favorite to least favorite. Your neck, your back, your pussy, and your crack.
Well, pussy's definitely number 1. The crack's number 2. The neck is number 3. The back's number 4. That was easy.
Okay, work. So, Afrosephone, why don't you tell the No Ma'am audience a little bit about you, what your drag persona is, what kind of inspired you to do drag in the first place?
No problem. So my name is Afrosephone Applegate. I am a native New York queen here. Well, let me draw that back just a little bit because my drag mother will kill me if I do not make this clarification. I am a showgirl. So a showgirl is a trans woman or trans experience who participates in the art of drag and pageantry and things of that nature. So I want to make sure that before my drag mother jumps down my throat, that distinction is made. But yes, I am a native New Yorker here. I was born and raised the entire time. There was a 2-year stint in Boston, but we don't really talk about her. But I have been doing drag holistically on and off like for the last 6 years, but I've been active in the scene for the past like 3.5, 4. So I am the bronze blonde bombshell of New York City. That is my tagline. That's my catchphrase. I use that particular kind of moniker because it was used by another, like from the golden age of Hollywood, a Black singer by the name of Joyce Bryant. Her story is how she became like the OG bronze blonde bombshell, is that she wanted to stand out from all the other girls that were going on before her who had similar looks, similar sound and everything. So she quite literally went around the corner when there used to be like those cast iron radiators and how they used to be silver. They were painted silver. So she found the silver paint for the radiators, slapped that shit on her head, went out, and they were like, oh, she's over. And that's how she became the bronze blonde bombshell.
That is definitely not safe to do, by the way.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But she was like, it's either this, right? It's either this or I don't get nothing. And like, she was, kept that hair short, but obviously using silver paint is obviously not safe, especially if you're using it in like the 1950s where nothing but asbestos and other hard lead used in the paints. So like, but she was the original bronze blonde bombshell. And I use that moniker as kind of like an homage to her because we have to look back in history, and my drag is nothing but looking at like the old school Hollywood, old school glamour, like, very much so watching Dorothy Dandridge, Lena Horne, Diane Carroll, Lola Falana, all those women, these icons in Black Hollywood that people tend to like gloss over when like, talking about Hollywood. I like to think of myself as what if they were doing their thing in the context of today, right? Obviously with the New York City lens, but I definitely feel that my drag is an homage to that.
I love that you actually referenced all these like old Hollywood girls because a lot of people, especially the younger generation, doesn't know anything about them. So I love that you're kind of repackaging it and putting your own twist on it and showing the world what that means.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And being a trans woman, how has that kind of inspired your drag or shaped it? And do you feel like there is a clear distinction between you as a woman and kind of like your drag persona? Or do you feel like it's kind of the same person, but just kind of exaggerated?
That is an excellent question. I'm glad you asked that. So I guess I'll take this in chunks. So the first part of your question, I actually started drag before I started medically transitioning. So like my drag then and what I was trying to do with that is very different than what I'm trying to do now. It was like back then, it was definitely cover the man and like create a silhouette and create a product. Now it's more of like punch up what you already have, right? So because I've been doing it for so long, I did it in two eras, I would say. So there is the pre-COVID era, there's the post-COVID era. The pre-COVID era, it was all about like what you can do, what you can sell, like kind of the makeup, the fantasy, and all those things. All things that I was terrible at the time. So if I wasn't going anywhere, like I remember one day trying to like, go into pieces for Drag Wars, and they took one good look at me like, sorry, the slots are full. It was very much so, it was very that. So I was like, okay, took that as a sign to go and improve. And when I tried to rev myself to go back out, we're in lockdown. So it kind of forced me to think and look inward. I transitioned during COVID actually. Kind of like decided that I was going to live my life authentically and that I was going to bring out what has always been inside that I've been trying to push down in a little black box that I just could not keep closed anymore. So after that, it was now more of discovering yourself, who you are, what you like, and who you are as a performer, because I think of myself as a performer first, and I want to portray, what do I want to project, right? And to get to that second part of your question, like me as a woman versus me as a performer, those are two completely different women. Two completely different entities. Like Afrosephone, blonde hair all the time. You will never catch me outside without blonde hair. I mean, come on now. Come on now. You just never gonna catch me out here. But like me, my civilian form, and people who would see me outside of drag, like I am a social worker by day. I have a 9 to 5. Like I go to work, I do things, I do anything that a normal adult would do. And so I look unassuming, but I like it that way, if that makes sense. Because I typically don't touch my face when I'm not in drag. Like if you see me out of drag, it is bare face. That's it. I'm there going in the gym, working out, coming home. That's it. And like the most that you can get out of me is like maybe a lip oil here and there, maybe a quick swipe of mascara. I do not have the time and I don't have the energy. But when I am Afrosephone, it's like I turn on. And like, this all of like the things that I would want to do and all the things that I imagine that I would be if I were in a certain place in my life, or if I were like a movie star, if I were a recording artist, what would I wear? What would I do? What would I portray myself to be? What would I want people to see, right? And this is what I kind of really ultimately settled on, and y'all eat it up every time. So
I love that. You mentioned that you see your drag kind of in 2 hours, like, pre-COVID and post-COVID. And there's a lot of guests we've had who've kind of mentioned that, honestly. But from your perspective, how has New York City nightlife changed because of COVID?
Well, New York City nightlife has changed drastically several times, but particularly with COVID there was a lost kind of sense of, I think, what it means to release and what it means to actually be in the moment. I think there is a very important component of just kind of like enjoying yourself and being, a part of the greater community and being with community and having fun. I think a lot of that was kind of lost because of the way that everything was just so abruptly kind of like stopped and then restarted. And then eventually, we got to a point where we, as a collective, or at least I should say the people in charge, decided that like, we have not been through anything. What are you talking about? There is no war in Bossing Say. So it's like, it's really a trip to try to like re-attain that sense of freedom, sense of not this sense of impending doom. And especially with a second Trump presidency, it's really kind of putting a toll on people. But I think that like we're trying to find a happy medium between where we were and where we're headed, right? I think there was a lot of things that needed to change from pre-COVID days, but I think that like there are certain aspects of the culture, certain aspects of nightlife, especially like in consideration, considering like the parties and the type of parties that we used to have, the atmosphere that was created, even the amount of time that you spend outside. All that stuff needs to definitely, in my opinion, make a reappearance. But, you know, because like there's only so many like afties that I'm willing to go to. I'm like, if it's not like the same party from like start to finish, I'm not gonna stay. I'm so sorry.
So speaking of that, like how do you protect your joy when everything around you is so hostile?
Well, you know, I have to like really attribute that to my well, I've been around for a while. Let's kind of like start there. So this is not my first like, you know, end of the world apocalypse situation. So I have several instances where we had to find different types of joy in different situations. And I think for this, it's just like understanding that you can't really fight back against anything if you have a low morale. There is no way, there's no place in time where there wasn't an aspect or wasn't a component of joy in any movement, the civil rights movement, the gay liberation movement, women's suffrage, you know, the Chicana movement, like, you know, all of these movements had some sort of aspect of joy, whether it be like, you know, musical celebrations, like breakout parties in the middle of like a parade or a protest or a march. You know, these are all things that like, even though they don't necessarily seem like they're doing much, it's still an expression of joy because that means that hope is still there. That means morale is up, which means that people can actually fight against the things that are oppressing them. So I definitely like to think that I try to keep that sense, like, you know, obviously doing drag. Drag is work, mind you, but it is a form of joy. It is a way that I express myself and is a way that I can share a bit of myself and my art to the world. And I really do take a lot of pride in giving people joy and giving people like, you know, an entertaining time, even if it's for like a half hour or an hour or however long it is. Like, I just want to make you feel as an audience member as good as possible. That's why after every show I do, I immediately kind of go out into the crowd and thank literally every single person that has come, because it's like, you know, I know it's like an old school kind of like drag thing to do, but it's so important, especially in this time, to let people know that they are appreciated, let people know that like you are seen, you are included. And that's what I like to do. And that's how I like to find and to give joy.
I love that. Speaking of New York City and New York City drag, right? We know that New York City is messy. We also know that the New York City drag scene is messy. So what is some things in the New York City drag scene that infuriates you? Like, what pisses you off?
How long do you have?
Listen.
How long do you have? Because I could be here for days on end talking about that.
Go off.
Honestly, well, the thing is, like, I think there is a disconnect, especially with the newer drag artists and the more established drag artists, particularly those of us who are either older in age or who have been doing drag just longer. There is a disconnect on like kind of like what it means to be in a nightlife community, what it means to be going out, all that kind of means. Like, you know, for example, like if somebody wants to be a part of the show, right? Like, oh, I want to be a part of the show, but you have never showed up to any of mine. I haven't seen you at my home bar, or I haven't seen you at any other function that I either attended or somebody who I know has attended. It's like this entitlement of like, oh no, I need to have a gig. It's like, okay, sweetheart, that means that you actually need to show up, right? That means that you need to actually like, you know, be a part of the process. Like you have to be you have to participate in like nightlife. That means you have to show up. That means you have to go to shows. That means you may have to inconvenience yourself a little bit just to come in and to like, say, hey, I'm here. I'm enjoying the show. And that's why I always encourage for folks who are doing my shows, like, listen, like come to the venue, come to like a show that I'm doing there just to get a vibe of the place, because it's not only just like, to show that I'm, trying my best to professionally connect with you. It's now kind of like I'm now trying to learn the crowd. I'm trying to learn the community. I'm trying to learn who's here. I'm trying to learn who the bartenders are, et cetera, right? So it's like, so that's one of my biggest pet peeves, like folks asking for shows or demanding that they are cast somewhere. And it's like, you've never spoken to me. You never went to any of my shows. You've never worked with me before, but like, I need to give you a gig or a booking. That in my head, that doesn't work. Like, there's a word that we use for that. It's called networking. I think that's for me, that's really big. I think this one is more of a little pettier. Body odor. I have a huge pet peeve for folks who get in drag, makeup, all that stuff, and you're smelling like the sewage drain. And I am sitting here.
The girls be stink backstage?
Girl.
Wash them tights, girls. Wash your tights.
Wash them tights. Wash them tucking panties. Wash them bodysuits. Wash them bras. Wash them socks. Wash them stockings. Like, wash the wigs. Wash the wigs. Like, it just does not. It's not appealing. And I pride myself on that, because if you've ever been to one of my shows or have ever seen me in person, the first thing you're going to say is like, oh, you smell so good. And I'm not even going to like, and that's not even like me trying to gas myself up. That's a fact, because I make sure that like before I even step through this door, I make sure that my ass is showered. I make sure that like I put my dusting powder on. I make sure that I have my oils, my body oils, my lotions, all that stuff, applied. I make sure that like all my clothes have been brushed. If there is by any chance that where I have to wear something again or one more time than it really needs to be, there is a bottle of Febreze right next to me that I just kind of, and it's like, let that bitch air out. Sorry, I don't know if we can cuss, but like, so I air that bitch out. And I'm like, you're never going to catch me smelling. Okay. That's something that is one of my biggest fears. Like, I do not want people to like walk away talking about like, yo, she stank. I'm like, no, you are going to smell me and you're going to like enjoy the smell that you have. Like, even with brushing my teeth, like I ask anybody who's worked with me, I am known to be in the bathroom brushing my teeth and use a mouthwash before I go out, because I'm like, you're not going to tell me that I smell bad or my breath smells bad. And like, breath is a whole nother thing, but just the body odor, especially in the Brooklyn scene, that there's a lot of people who just do not adhere to a regimen that is conducive to cleanliness. And I don't like that.
Work. Okay. Well, we have gone through, several kind of serious questions. So I kind of want to have a little fun. I want you to describe your drag persona, so Afrosephone, as if it were a Grindr bio.
Do you want me to read the actual Grindr? I can pull that bitch up and I'd be like, hold on, wait. I will literally, let me pull this up right now. I got you. Hold on right now.
Sponsored by Grindr.
Honestly, Grindr, run me a check.
I wish.
Because the way that
Grindr,
I be promoting all this thing.
Adam for Adam, any of them.
Call me.
Not Adam for Adam. You threw it all the way back. Listen, honestly.
BGC Live. Like,
you threw it all the way back.
I'll even take Christian Mingle.
BGC Live, baby.
BGC
Black
Live.
Planet. Like, all the things.
Hello. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Y'all threw it all the way back. I know that. I knew I liked y'all. So here we go. The About Me section. In a relationship, in bold letters. Just here for promoting my drag shows. Not interested in anything else. A transsexual does not equal a crossdresser, does not equal a femboy. Y'all treat women on here like one of the boys, and I don't like that. That's what it would say.
That wins. That takes the trophy. I love that. But I mean, you did mention something in that, which is like you treat transsexuals as if they were femboys or cross-dressers or whatever. I know you said you're in a relationship, but in general, do you find the dating scene as a trans woman to be kind of difficult to navigate?
Oh yeah, absolutely. For sure. Like when I decided that I was like, okay, I'm going to get on here and promote shows and do the things. Cause before this, I haven't touched Grindr in years. Like I haven't been on Grindr. I haven't been on any of the apps in years. And I was like, you know what? Let me just download this because it seems to work for other people. So like, let me go ahead and try, especially, with Scruff and Jack, you can like submit your flyers and all that stuff. Right. The way that I was looking at it, I'm like, if you've ever seen what you call it, it's a movie from like the 2000s with Anna Faris. Like she was in a sorority and like it was. I don't know if you like remember.
The House Bunny.
It's given the House Bunny.
Period.
Yeah.
So House Bunny, where she goes on this rant where like, at least like when I was last dating, the pool was everyone, but now it's like a shallow pool of piss and like age appropriate men who are disgusting. And I don't want to do any of that. And that's quite literally what it is. Like, no, that's exactly what it is. Like, it is deplorable. It is deplorable. If I was single, I would just like give up. I'm like, you know what? I'm celibate. I'm not doing any of this. Y'all are gross. And especially how they engage with trans women very particularly, because you have two very different camps of how they approach you. You have the people who completely fetishize you for the parts that they think you have. That's a big one because, not all of us have those parts anymore. Newsflash, oh my God. They are after you specifically for that particular part of you. And like they kind of make the whole interaction about that and about you doing things to them with that part, which is gross. And, even like, as a gay boy on the apps, like, it was kind of weird then, but as a woman, it's gross now. And then you have the other side of things where it's like these men who will not leave you alone for any amount of time, regardless of whatever you say, however you try to let them down, like they are still trying to like, get in your pants. A lot of straight men who I never had to deal with before this point. A lot of straight men do not get the hint. They never get the hint. And it's really hard to kind of like feel out and to determine who would genuinely like to get to know me, who genuinely, because a new one that has popped up for me is like, oh, where are your shows? You can follow my social media at the bottom. It's there for a reason. You can follow me and keep up with all my shows. Oh, I don't have any of the apps. Oh, well, baby, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
like, right. Hello. And I'm like, you got this one down packed. You're using this just fine. So I'm assuming that you can use a Twitter or a Facebook. I'm pretty sure you have a burner account. So it's like, babes, what are we doing right now? But I think what it is, it's like there is also, because of the now hyper visibility of trans women, it makes it easier for people who are enamored with us to kind of project their fetishes and their preconceived ideas onto us. And it makes it a little bit more difficult to kind of, determine who is really real, like who is a good fit or who would not be a creep about shit, and also who won't kill me, because that's also very real. I don't have those problems. Y'all be safe though. But like it's one of those things where I'm like, if I were single, I would hate it.
No, yeah. I'm trans. I identify as non-binary. But one day, like I decided, like on one of the apps that I was very mass presenting. One day I decided, let me put a face of me and makeup on. And the amount of people that started messaging me, different people that were messaging me before, and started saying some really weird, creepy things. I'm like, I gotta let's remove the picture. Let's go back, because it was uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable, and it was almost scary, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. No, I totally see exactly where you're coming from, because it's like they are it's ravenous. Like it is such a, and it's like you can tell that it's a primal sort of reaction when they see that. It's just like, and it's like they want to prey on it. It's very much so like a predatory kind of approach, and it just is so weird. And it doesn't help that like especially gender variant folks like us and like trans women of trans experience, particularly the Black ones, usually end up dead as a result. So it's like, there is a reason why the life expectancy for a Black trans woman is 5. Mind you, I'm turning 36 this year. So it's like, to think of my life ending at this point, we as a whole, trans women as a whole, deserve much better, and we deserve to grow old. We deserve to like hit milestones. We deserve to have all these things. Having these dating, and if the dating apps are any indication of how folks are viewing us, like in a very practical and real sense, it's looking like we got to stick together, and we got to make sure that we do better for ourselves.
Yeah. Now, speaking of trans representation, let's talk about a show that does not have any this season, and that is season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Because it is like the pink elephant in the room. Everybody is confused as to why the girls is not on the show.
Right.
Like, where are the dolls?
I clocked that. I was like, oh, okay. So they said no to the trans girls. Oh, that's crazy.
Trump gets back into office and they're like, no trans girls.
Right. Like, you tired of them winning? Like, are you tired of them like doing well or like becoming fan favorites? Like, what's tea? Are you scared to book the continental winners? Is that kind of what it is? Because, you have to, like, it just boggles my mind. For like so many years, a Drag Race have kind of made it a point to like put on like, trans women, to make sure that they highlight trans contestants and things of that nature. But this year, the year of, when, things are getting shady, we need to bring the light. There's no trans women where the light can find them. The Giselle Royale Barbie, hello, find your light. Like, it's like I would expect somebody, at least one of them, to be, but I'm like, oh no, this is the sausage fest. Ain't nothing but man testosterone up under them wigs. I mean, not for nothing, I'm here for it because they're shady as shit, but it's like, it's also kind of interesting that they decided to go in that direction,
Yeah. So what are we thinking besides that? What are we thinking of the season so far? Are we liking it? Are we disliking it?
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn for me. I think that like first of all, you just had to kind of reacclimate to kind of like the number one, the cast as itself, because we have a lot of older queens on the season, so a lot of them are not quite as active on social media as in, like, let's say past seasons, like season 17, where almost everybody had like about 25,000 followers or more. It's not as heavy with the, I guess, the like, show-stopping moments. Like initially, like we didn't have a talent show to start off this year. Thank God. I was like, some of these talent numbers, I'm like, no, you got to go back to the drawing board. Not a talent at all. Like, I don't know who lied to you. So to have it go back to basics was definitely for me, a welcome change. But I think that a lot of people are trying to like get into it and trying to understand it a little bit more. I think the more that we spend with folks, the better it will get. It's, once again, it's not it's too early for me to kind of make a call, but it definitely is a slow burn. I am liking the cattiness, by the way. It's giving me the old school, wow, the logo seasons. The logo seasons were the best seasons. You cannot tell me otherwise. I would say that this is the closest to like a logo type casting that we've gotten, because everybody's seasoned. So like, people are going to go off. People are going to say what they feel. Shout outs to Athena Dion, because bitch, she's given us the TV that we deserve this season. I have to give it to her. It's going to be a lot of shenanigans. I can almost taste it. It's going to be a lot of shenanigans.
100%. Well, I have a problem with this season is that there's only 2 Black queens. And that bothers me because where are the representation? Like, I'm so confused.
It very much feels like a product of the era that we're living in, and them trying to conform to the administration for whatever reason, or not for whatever reason. We kind of discussed that in a previous episode. It's Paramount and all that stuff and whatnot. They probably made some executive decisions to erase some people.
And I honestly that's exactly what I was going to say, because like we are right now in a very tepid kind of era for television. A lot of the media houses, a lot of the productions are kind of scaling back that kind of like really laser focus on representation because of the fear of like the backlash from like, oh, DEI, right? And so, and would be one thing if it's like a backlash from like somebody from some cow town, they're missing all their back teeth and stuff like that. That's one thing. But then it's another when you have that same sentiment is coming from donors and people who have money. And like, you know, even though like Drag Race is a media empire onto itself from World of Wonder, they still need a distributor. And that distributor is Paramount, because Paramount has the amount of money to actually do that, to pay for the promo, to pay for everything. So they get final say in almost everything. So in order to make the donors happy, because, you know, Paramount is, they did donate to the Trump campaign. Like, it's not a secret. Like, you can find that very readily. Like, they're not going to go against their best interest. So yeah, while they'll allow some people on, I think that's another reason why we didn't get any trans folks, any like, you know, gender variant folks. That's why I don't think I haven't seen, or at least had anybody talk about any disabilities this season, you know, because we usually have like about one or two with like some major, like, you know, like disabilities that they live with. And it's like, you know, that becomes like a center point of their storyline in the show. We don't have that. So it's like a very much so a very sanitized version of what we're going to get. And I think that, you know, for the foreseeable future, unless something happens, knocking on wood, like we will, like, I think this is what the approach is going to be for a lot of our television moving forward.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because Paramount is owned by two gay men. So I just think that's funny.
Listen, there are gay Republicans, and that's why Grindr crashes every time the Republican National mentions in town.
Listen, we need to wake that up. Like people.
Listen, and yeah, they're on the apps too. They're even weirder. They're even weirder because they're married.
You know how many times I've seen a ring or a family picture, and I'm like, oh, we're just gonna.
Oh, y'all went on a fishing trip with your firstborn? Oh, that's so cute. What does that have to do with me?
Hilarious. All right, so I think it's time to play Not Too Much. I'm super excited, but it's one thing to watch others play Not Too Much, and then for you to be on the one who's actually now like a contestant. So here are the rules. If you're new here, there are 9 questions in 3 categories. The great thing, because you know we're all about consent, you get to pick the order you want to go into. So the categories are You Ate That, She's That Girl, and Girl What. Which category are you picking first?
Let's go with Girl What.
Finally, someone else goes with a different one. Everybody has been going with You Ate That first. And I'm like,
and I know, let's go with Girl What. I like mess.
Yes. All right. So what is one social obligation that's always a waste of time?
Any family function, with a family reunion, extended family particularly. I don't need to see you. We don't talk during the year. We don't talk usually at all. It's usually because, oh, well, you know, your aunt hasn't seen you in 8X year, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, I ain't trying to be over there. You know I don't like you. You know I hate your voice. You know I hate your kids. I just sit there and eat whatever nasty ass food that you made because, you know you can't cook. I just do that because I need to save face. And like, honestly, this all could have been a Zoom call, or I could have met, or I could have like had made plans with the person on my own. I don't need to be there. I'm sorry.
This could have been an email.
This could have been an email.
Love
it. You didn't pop on that.
Think.
I had a particular.
Tell us how you really. You were saying that. I was thinking of one of my own. And I'm like, ooh, I would like to say that to her.
You know the one that can't cook? Okay. So this one is, which celebrity nude would you want to see dropped?
All right, so what nude celebrity would I like to see?
Like what which celebrity would you like to see their nudes?
Let me see. There's a lot. But I think I'm going to say I would like to see Damson Idris's nudes. I really need that. I need that.
Okay. I can see that.
It's yours, Will.
I know it's big. I know it is. I know it's big. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is.
Let's see. I would like to see, and this is weird because normally I'm like my type is black, like blackity black.
Yes.
But I don't right now. I want to see Zane Phillips. I would like for Zane Phillips.
We need to connect after this because it's out there, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a whole sex tape.
It's a whole sex tape.
Well, it's like 1 minute, but yeah.
It's like, does anyone have the extended version?
Please submit it.
And then the next one will be like Diplo, but we've all seen it though.
Yeah,
I don't think we've all seen. Yeah,
Diplo gets around. Diplo gets around.
Yeah, we know. We know that. Yeah, that's community dick right there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do Fuck, Marry, Kill, but we are going to do this with national landmarks. So we have the Empire State Building, we have the Brooklyn Bridge, and we have Madison Square Garden.
Let's say marry the Brooklyn Bridge because it's honestly one of my favorite bridges from an architectural standpoint. Like, it's just a really pretty bridge in my opinion. I would fuck the Empire State Building only because of the Rainbow Room. Only because of the Rainbow Room. Because the Rainbow Room is every fucking thing. If you've ever been to an event, like, it is gorgeous in there. If nightlife can get a hold of the Rainbow Room, bitch, over. And definitely kill Madison Square Garden. We do not need that anymore.
It needs to be updated. It needs to be like deconstructed.
It needs to be updated. It needs to be deconstructed. It needs to be relocated. It needs to be burnt and thrown in the trash, honey. We have so many other venues to choose from. We don't need to have that congested. And then on top of that, it's above Penn Station where everybody and their mother wants to congregate. Don't need it. Throw it away. Do away with it. Fuck it. Kill it.
And all the
now.
And all the crackheads and
don't get me started on that.
Right. Okay. So we have You Ate That and we have She's That Girl. What's next?
Let's do She's That Girl.
Okay. So I'm really excited about this one. If you were a talking toy, what would be your catchphrase?
And what would be the button that they have to do?
So I have a tattoo of a butterfly here. So this butterfly will be the button and I will have 3 phrases. It's like, I don't like that. I'm hungry. And the third one would be, who smells like that?
I love that because of what you said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much sense. Okay. What kinds of character would you be in a horror movie?
Ooh. So I know with the blonde hair, everybody thinks like, oh, you're the first bitch to die. Like, no. See, I would be the minor character that would be like in a situation. I would be in a situation where I would notice a killer, but I would immediately do an about face and walk out of the venue and say nothing to anybody. If you have ever seen I think it was like the latest like Halloween where it was like this black boy that was being babysat by the white babysitter that was getting killed. He hightailed her right the fuck out of that house, screaming like, yo, someone's getting killed. That would be me. That would be me. And you would never see me throughout that movie ever again. I was like, nope. Yep.
Love that.
Running blonde bitch would be the character and my name would be right next to it. Mm-hmm.
Love that. Okay. The final question is, who is the best fictional witch of all time?
Ooh, oh my God. Wow. Wow. That's hard. The best fictional witch? Ooh. Golly. See, God, it's so hard. Based off of please do not revoke my black card. But I will have to say my personal favorite, like in this moment, because like I'm under pressure and I'm like the only one who I can think of that I just absolutely love, Prudence from Charmed. Prudence, one of the original 3.
That was my choice.
It'd be Prudence.
Yes.
No, I could not think of anybody else. I'm like, Prudence. It's Prudence. Like, honestly.
I was like, yes.
Great minds. Great minds.
I have never seen a single episode of that show.
Okay, see, there's some education that needs to be had. We need to get a tape ASAP. Like, we need a date where you can sit down. My VHS, like, we'll hook up the old school. Yep, the old school VHS players. I'll be like, hit the play button. I'm like, we gonna watch this the way it's meant to be watched. Yes.
Crew is hands down the best.
Absolutely.
Hands down. Like,
without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yes. Piper could be like a close second, though, for me.
Piper is a very close second to me in that show.
Yes.
In general, I would have to give it to Eva Willow from Buffy. Eva Willow from Buffy.
Yes.
She eats.
When them veins just to come on her face.
Oh yeah, and the eyes went black.
And them eyes go black.
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes,
y'all are about to kill me some more because I've never seen Buffy.
So this just shows you that like we're old. That's what that is. Because I'm like, oh yeah, for sure.
Very much so. Okay, so you ate that as the last category, and so the first question is, what drink triggers your gag reflex?
A blue motherfucker. A blue motherfucker, like a blue Long Island, immediately. Because the last time I drank one, it was celebrating my 24th birthday, and people were just feeding me drinks, all types of drinks. I wasn't caring where it came from, what it was. I was drinking it. Last thing I had before I ran to that bathroom was a blue motherfucker, and I chugged that shit. And I was like, you know what? Let me go to the bathroom real quick, blah, 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 blah. And it was all she wrote after that.
And that is exactly why the drink is called Adios, motherfucker.
Right. Hello. Yeah.
Adios. That's exactly what it said to you.
You're gone. Yeah. I was gone. It was game out, lights over. My friends literally dragged me onto the train station. It was actually a mess.
I love those variants of drinks though, because there's like several variants of the same drink, just a different color. Right. But because like if you're just trying to have a good time and get drunk quickly, cheaply, like one or two of those.
Oh, absolutely. But that's the only thing you're drinking that night. Just to be clear, you're not drinking anything else.
Okay. So the second question is, if your favorite vegetable could talk, what accent would it have?
Wow. I have several favorites, so that would be different types of accents, honestly. So let's start with, I guess, my two favorites. So we're going to do kale and callaloo, right? So kale...
What?
You don't know what callaloo is? Callaloo. It's a West Indian plant it looks like spinach and it kind of functions like spinach, but it's not.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, so callaloo, because like once again, my dad's from the West Indies, my mom's from down south. So kale would obviously have a more southern accent because my mother makes kale the way she makes collards. So it's very much so like, I associate the two together and I associate kales with my mom. So of course my mother's from the south, so she would have a southern accent and callaloo, obviously from my father's side of the family, callaloo is a big staple in breakfast. Like you bake your saltfish, your eggs, and your callaloo. And, that's, so the first thing that you're going to hear up is like, good morning, so that's, what that is.
I need to try callaloo now. And I know that when I do, the first thing that's going to pop into my head as I'm putting that bitch in my mouth is that accent you just put on.
She's like, hello, you're not eat. You need to come in, yum your food. Like, it's very, very that.
Yeah. All right, I love that. You're actually the one that won. You said a correct vegetable because no shade. We had Jade on, and I asked Jade the same question, and she said a cherry tomato, which hands down is probably one of the best moments ever on the pod. Cherry tomato. I let her cook. I feel bad because I know that cherry tomato is not a vegetable, but I let her cook, and because I knew that it was going to be a viral sensation, and it was. But shout out to Jade because cherry tomato.
It's technically a fruit.
Yeah. Okay. So now, if you was made out of food, what food would you be made out of?
There's many answers to this question. Golly, what would I be if I were food? I would have to say, like, I probably, because of the amount that I eat, it would probably be rice. Different types of rice. Like you have your brown rice, you have your white rice, you have your rice and peas, you have your dirty rice, you have your red rice and beans. I eat different types of rices a lot. As you know, I go to the gym, so like a lot of my meal prep, rice is obviously the starch choice, so I eat that a lot. So it would be rice.
Love that. Well, that was not too much. Was that fun? That was so much fun.
That was really fun. I was like, that wasn't as traumatizing as I've seen other people go.
Oh no, you did good. You did good, girl. You did good.
Yeah. You did, because you thought about your answers, right? Like that's good, and you was very thoughtful. So listen, the kale and the kalaloo, I thought those are real good. It's a real two really good answers.
Listen, like I was like, you know what? I had to bring my heritage in this somehow, some way. So I obviously I was like, oh, this is perfect food. Yeah, easy.
Listen, in this day and age, we all need to bring a little bit of our heritage out because they're actively trying to erase it.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so we have one last question. Okay. And that is, so far, what has been your go-to lip sync song?
Ooh. As of late?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh, because like it changes every so often. I have a lot of songs that people kind of know me for. R.I.P. to that Minaj mix that I had because like I had to bury her. It was a whole entire thing. I was like, you made me so much money. Oh God, I have to let you go.
Wait, did you do that into a performance? Because you should now. You should have like a burial on stage for your Maga Minaj mix.
You ate that. I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna make it a whole moment. Like we go, like her funeral is this, that, and the third. Like we just gonna put this bitch to rest.
You gotta be like, hold on, Holiday, hold on,
Holiday, and then like it just has sounds of a shovel,
and
then just boom, 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 boom. And
let the boys be boys.
Let the boys be boys. I'm like, okay, girl, like, and just let your husband touch on your son. Anyway, so I think my go-to song, I honestly, as of late,
already for it.
As of fucking late, I think like it wouldn't be a particular song, but it would be a particular artist. Because like I said, I cycle through too many. But I would say that it would be Kylie Minogue, like as of late, because I have been doing a lot of her music as of late. Very particular on a night like this. On a night like this has been like my go-to Kylie song for like a year now.
Bitch?
Hello, and like if you've been on my page, you've seen me perform it a couple of times, and so I am a huge Kylie Minogue fan, and I was like, you know what? I might as well just kind of like lean into that because, when you're trying to find your sound, trying to find what you're doing, I'm like, I don't know what I want to. And Kylie Minogue, she eats and she does really well in mixed companies.
Okay, follow up to that real quick. What is your favorite Kylie Minogue song and why is it not Param Param?
Because first of all, I've been a stan of Kylie Minogue way before Padam Padam. So like Padam was a great, great return to form. I will say that. My favorite Kylie Minogue song is and will always be It's No Secret from her first album.
Ooh,
like
that's a
if
good
you
one.
go all the way back to like her first album, like she has a song called It's No Secret, basically like, going through a breakup is like, like you done like cheated on me. Everybody else knew it but me. And I'm over here looking stupid because of your dumb ass. So it's basically a song like talk about so, but yeah, that's like my ultimate, like all-time favorite Kylie song.
That's a good one.
And it's not Padam Padam because it's, I'm old. So no.
No, see, mine is Better the Devil You Know. I love that song. I fucking love that song.
I love that song so much. I love that song. That song is everything.
Or The Locomotion. It's just something about that, like, I don't know. It just gets me happy and it just makes me want to move.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that is pure, like, like if you want joy, like in a 3-minute song, The Locomotion is it.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, friends, you heard it here. So Afrosephone, where can the friends find you?
Of course, please follow me on all social medias. They're going to be different each one. Instagram is going to be at THEE bronze, like the metal, blonde, like the hair color. So the bronze blonde on my Instagram. You can also follow me just at Afrosephone on Blue Sky and the Devil, aka Twitter. So you can find me there as well.
We don't call it the other name.
No, I dead name that site all the time. I'm like, that's the only thing I will ever dead name. I'm like, girl, no, it's not. I don't know what the hell y'all came up with, but those are the three best ways. You can also follow me on TikTok. I am trying to, like, keep up with the times and make videos and reaction videos. So if you want to see me in a more kind of raw reactionary, as in like I just woke up and somebody said something stupid and I want to respond, usually it's about a transplant. It's usually a transplant or somebody, like, thinking that they know New York better than a native New Yorker. So if you want to see that, that's going to be on my TikTok, which is Afrosephone as well.
Love that. All right. Well, friends, now you've had it, right? That has been our episode. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss a single episode of No Ma'am. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify podcasts, rate the show 5 stars. We're really good. So the only way that we get bigger is if you rate us. So you guys know what to do. Until next time, y'all. Bye.
Bye.